please.
On October 14th, 2022, 17-year-old Kayla Rhodes left her best friend's house at 9:41 p.m. She never made it home. The next morning, police found her phone in a drainage ditch near Maple Ridge Road. Screen cracked, battery dead, case covered in dirt. But when detectives charged the device, they discovered something no one expected. A video, exactly 9 minutes long. Kayla had recorded something just before she disappeared. The footage was filmed in selfie mode, shaky, scared, and whispered. At 1 minute, 22 seconds, Kayla turns the camera around and points into the darkness ahead of her. She whispers, "Someone's following me, and they keep hiding when I look back." Detectives paused the video, reviewed the first frames, and enhanced the lighting. On the edge of the road, standing under the trees, a pale figure appeared for one single frame. No face, no movement, just watching. Kayla zoomed in and whispered one last thing before the footage cut to black. "If someone finds this, don't let him come near my house." Detectives replayed Kayla's final video over a dozen times. At first, it looked like nothing but shaking hands, heavy breathing, and a dark, empty road. But when digital forensics slowed the footage to 1 frame per second, something else appeared. Behind Kayla, farther than any normal phone flash could reach, a tall silhouette stood at the tree line. Not moving, not walking, just standing. And every time Kayla turned around, the figure vanished. Around minute 4:17, Kayla whispers, "I stopped hearing his footsteps, but he's closer now. I can feel it." The video shakes violently as Kayla starts running. Branches snap, leaves crunch, something heavy follows behind her, but no shape ever appears on camera. Then, at minute 5:52, Kayla's breathing suddenly stops. The phone tilts sideways, capturing the edge of the road. And in the blurry distance, a white shape crouches low to the ground as if crawling toward her. Right before the footage ends, a distorted voice, low, unfamiliar, almost mechanical, whispers near the microphone, "Look at me." Detectives returned to Maple Ridge Road the morning after the video was recovered. They expected to find Kayla's footprints, light, uneven marks leading toward the wooded trail. They did, but they found something else too, something impossible. Beside Kayla's prints ran a second trail. Not boots, not sneakers, bare feet. Large, deep. Each impression spaced far apart, as if the person following her was taking unnaturally long strides. The prints led directly into the forest. At 2:13 p.m., the tracking dog picked up Kayla's scent, strong, fresh, leading deeper into the trees. But 60 yards in, the trail abruptly stopped. No more footprints, no sign of struggle, nothing disturbed, as if Kayla and whoever followed her had simply vanished. Then, the cadaver dog did something handlers said it almost never does. It backed away, whining, refusing to take another step forward. The handler whispered, "It's acting like there's something out here that shouldn't be." Back at the digital lab, forensics extracted something everyone had missed. Kayla's phone recorded more than just video. It recorded sound for 12 seconds after the screen went black. The footage ended at 9 minutes 3 seconds, but the audio file continued to 9 minutes 15 seconds. Those 12 seconds changed the direction of the investigation. The first sound was Kayla whispering, "No, please, stay away." Then leaves crushing, heavy, slow, deliberate, not running, approaching. Forensic audio enhanced the waveform. What they heard did not match a human gait. 2 steps, a pause, then one dragging sound, as if something too tall was shifting its weight unnaturally. At second 7, a new noise emerged, a soft clicking, like bones tapping together. Detective Harris leaned back in his chair. "That's not possible," he whispered. "Humans don't move like that." At second 11, a voice entered the audio so close to the microphone it caused static. "Don't hide from me." Experts confirmed it wasn't Kayla's voice. Pitch too deep, vibration too low, gait pattern inhuman. Someone or something was speaking directly into Kayla's phone. When detectives analyzed Kayla's final GPS data, they noticed something strange. She wasn't walking home when she recorded the video. She was heading in the opposite direction, straight toward a dead-end road called Blackthorn Trail, a place with one single house. The house had been abandoned since 2014. Windows boarded, roof partially collapsed, electricity cut, no residents, no visitors. Yet Kayla's GPS pinged right in front of it at 9:46 p.m., the exact moment her video ended. Officers approached the property the following afternoon. Grass knee-high, mailbox rusted, front door half-hinged. The place looked completely lifeless. But when they walked up the porch stairs, Detective Harris stopped. There were footprints in the dust. One pair small, Kayla's size. The other pair were the same bare, oversized prints found on the roadside. They led straight to the front door. But what froze the detectives wasn't the footprints. It was the door itself. Someone had carved a message into the wood recently. A single sentence. "She finally saw me." Detectives pushed the door open. It groaned like something inside didn't want to be disturbed. The air was freezing. Dust floated in narrow beams of light, leaking through broken boards. Inside, there was nothing. No furniture, no electricity, no footprints moving deeper into the house, except one. In the living room, the floor was covered in dirt, and right in the center, a single, bare footprint. Deep, heavy, pointing toward the hallway. Detective Harris crouched down. He touched the floor. Warm. Suddenly, a faint scraping sound came from the hallway. Something dragging, slow, rhythmic. Officers raised their flashlights and stepped forward. The dragging sound stopped. Then a whisper traveled through the hallway, so soft it barely existed. "You're late." The flashlight beams flickered violently, and just before the officers stepped back, a dark vertical shape slid behind the doorway, as if something incredibly tall had just moved out of sight. The scraping sound returned, this time from beneath them. Detective Harris pointed his light at the floorboards. The sound was coming from under the house, from the basement. The officers found the basement door at the end of the hallway. Old wood, chipped paint, a rusty latch barely holding it shut. But the scratches on the outside were fresh. Something had clawed from the inside, trying to get out. The officers lifted their weapons and unlatched the door. A cold breath of air rushed up the stairwell, and faintly, from somewhere in the darkness below, a small voice whispered, "Please help me. He won't let me leave." It wasn't Kayla's voice. It sounded younger. Forensics searched Kayla's phone again, looking for clues. Hidden in her photo gallery was a picture she had taken just minutes before starting the video. A blurry capture of the Blackthorn house from across the road. But behind one of the shattered windows, a face. Small, young, pale. Detective Harris froze. He recognized her. In 2014, a 9-year-old girl named Emily Warwick went missing. Last seen playing near Blackthorn Trail. Her case had gone cold. And the face in Kayla's photo looked exactly like her. Police compared the features: nose, eyes, hairline. Match, 99.3%. But there was one problem. Emily would have been 17 now. The girl in the window looked 9, the same age she was when she vanished. Detective Harris whispered, "Kayla didn't find her stalker here. She found someone else." Then he noticed something else in the photo. Behind Emily's small face, in the darkness behind her, something much taller was standing, watching. Officers descended the basement stairs with flashlights raised. The deeper they went, the colder the air became, unnaturally cold. Halfway down, the scratching stopped. The basement was pitch black until their beams found the floor. Then they saw her. A girl, sitting in the corner, knees pulled to her chest, long tangled hair hiding her face. Small, thin, barefoot, exactly Emily's size. Ramirez stepped forward. "Emily? Is that you?" The girl didn't respond. Harris moved closer. "Are you hurt? We're here to help." She lifted her head slowly, mechanically, as if her neck hadn't moved in years. Her eyes were pitch black. No reflection, no reaction. She stared at them without blinking. Detective Harris whispered, "Oh my God." Then the girl spoke. Her voice didn't match her mouth. It echoed from the walls like multiple voices speaking at once. "He said she would see me last." The flashlights flickered. Something massive shifted behind them in the darkness upstairs. Harris and Ramirez spun toward the stairs. Heavy footsteps moved across the floor above them. Slow, deliberate, each one shaking dust from the ceiling. The girl in the corner covered her ears. "Don't let him in," she whispered. The footsteps stopped directly over the basement door. Then the doorknob began to turn, very slowly. Detective Harris shouted, "Police, identify yourself!" No answer, only breathing. Deep, dragging, like someone inhaling through broken lungs. The door opened, and a tall silhouette filled the doorway. 8 feet tall, arms too long, head tilted unnaturally sideways. It crouched to fit under the doorway and descended the first step. Ramirez fired a warning shot into the ceiling. "Stop!" The figure didn't flinch. It kept coming, step by step, every movement bending as if its bones didn't fit right. The girl whispered, "He found her." Harris shouted, "Who?" The girl pointed behind them. "The one he followed." Detectives retreated deeper into the basement, flashlights shaking. The creature reached the bottom step. Its shape flickered like heat waves over fire, but colder. Then its head snapped toward Harris. Not turned, snapped, in one unnatural jerk. At that exact moment, forensics upstairs uncovered something new on Kayla's phone. A second video file. Hidden, not visible in her gallery. Auto-created by the phone when the recording app crashed. The file was 9 seconds long. Detective Albright hit play. Kayla was in the basement, sobbing, camera shaking. She whispered, "Emily, please, come with me." Then the camera turned toward the far corner. Emily was standing, but not alone. Behind her, towering over her, was the silhouette. It leaned down behind Emily as if whispering to her. Emily's voice came through the recording. "She can't leave until he does." Then the camera dropped as Kayla screamed. The last frame showed the creature's hand, long, crooked fingers reaching toward the lens. Back inside the basement, the creature stepped forward. The floor vibrated. The girl, Emily, stood up slowly, her movements unnatural and stiff. She looked at the detectives. "You shouldn't have followed him," she whispered. The creature lunged. Harris fired 3 rounds. Ramirez fired 2 more. The bullets passed straight through it like through smoke, but the smoke was solid. The creature collapsed into shadow, reformed behind them, and knocked Ramirez into the wall. Harris grabbed Emily's arm. "Come with me, we need to go." Emily pulled away. "No." Her eyes darkened. "You can't take me. I belong to him." The creature wrapped its long arm around Emily's shoulders. She didn't resist. She didn't scream. She looked at Harris one last time. "He wants her, not me." Then Emily's body dissolved into the shadow, merging with the creature. It slid backward into the darkness as if being pulled by an unseen force. The basement fell silent. Then Harris heard a sound behind him, a phone vibrating. A single phone lay on the dirt floor. Kayla's phone. It was vibrating with a notification. Harris picked it up with shaking hands. The screen lit up. A location alert. Not from a tracker, not from a contact, from Kayla's own device. The notification said, "She's still here." A map pin blinked in the exact location they were standing, directly in the basement. Ramirez whispered, "No, that's not possible." Harris checked the timestamp. The alert had been sent 6 minutes ago, after Kayla disappeared, after the video ended, after the phone battery had supposedly died. Harris looked around the basement, flashlight shaking. "Kayla, are you here?" The light passed over the walls, burned, cracked, damp. Then he saw it. A handprint, small, fresh, pressed into the dust as if someone had braced themselves against the wall. Next to it, drag marks, human-sized, leading into a narrow gap behind the stairs. Harris pointed his flashlight at the gap. It was barely a foot wide, not enough for an adult, but the drag marks continued inside. He crouched, lowered the light, and froze. Kayla's necklace was lying in the dust. Silver chain, heart pendant, her initials engraved. Ramirez whispered, "She was here." But the drag marks didn't lead back out, only in. Harris pushed his shoulder into the narrow space and leaned forward. The gap expanded slightly behind the wall, like a hidden crawl space. He moved the flashlight sideways. Something was in there. Hair, a shoulder, an arm, curled in the fetal position. Harris nearly dropped the light. It was Kayla, her eyes open, staring forward, completely still. He reached his hand inside. "Kayla, can you hear me?" Then Kayla blinked, very slowly. Her lips parted. She whispered something so faint it almost vanished. "Not alone." And behind her body, two long, dark arms slid upward in the shadows. The arms wrapped around Kayla and pulled her deeper into the crawl space. Harris lunged forward, screaming her name. Ramirez grabbed him, shouting, "Don't go in there!" The entire crawl space shuddered, as if something inside was inhaling. Dust rained down, the wall boards began to crack. Then, total silence. Upstairs, forensics downloaded the very last frame from Kayla's hidden video. It was corrupted, pixelated, unrecognizable, until they enhanced it. The final frame showed Kayla standing behind the house, eyes wide, mouth open in terror. And behind her, the creature's face, for the first time, white, featureless, smooth, like a mask pressed too tightly against a skull. But the most disturbing detail was not the face, it was the hand on Kayla's shoulder. Not holding her, not dragging her, guiding her, as she walked willingly into the darkness. Detective Harris filed his report 3 weeks later. Kayla Rhodes, still missing. Emily Warwick, never recovered. Blackthorn House, sealed permanently. Final note in the case file: the entity chooses those who record it.